Hello, good morning to everyone who is here today. Um, there is a great program that has been lined up for the Train-a-Wikimedian initiative by the Deoband Community Wikimedia. And because this is something which is a recent announcement, this is a recent achievement, a milestone that we all have achieved as Wikimedians. Um, we thought it was important to actually talk about digital public goods. What is a digital public infrastructure? What does this recognition of Wikipedia as a digital public good mean? And how it impacts all of us? And because of this recognition, what kind of priorities we need to think about now? So, to begin with, I think we'll start with what is a digital public infrastructure? Um, so you can read what is mentioned here. It talks about that digital public infrastructure refers to the digital systems which are essential for public service like governance and economic participation. But what does it actually mean in simple terms? So in simple terms, a digital public infrastructure is like the digital backbone that helps government and people interact with each other. So it includes things like Aadhaar card in India and online payments like UPI and tools that allow information to be exchanged easily and securely. So that is what the digital public infrastructure means. And what are the goals of digital public infrastructure? So the first goal is that the digital services are available to everyone. That's the first goal. And then the second goal is to make things more transparent and accountable. And the other goal that primarily DPI works with is to help people be more involved in decision making and the economy through digital tools. So basically, this focuses on digital services and systems that make things work smoothly in the digital world. As we have already mentioned, something like online payments, e-governance, and all of that. So in simple terms, what we can say is that a digital public infrastructure helps us interact and do things online, while if we compare it to the social structure is about the physical systems that keep us healthy, educated, and moving around in the real world. So this is something that does the same for the digital world. So why does digital public infrastructure matter? So we are talking about this, so we should actually also understand why it matters. So it matters because it makes lives easier and better for everyone, especially in today's world where most of the things are happening online. So why? Like, what are the key elements of why this focuses on digital public infrastructure? So the first thing is access for everyone. The digital public infrastructure helps make important services like healthcare, education, and government programs accessible to people. Even people in remote areas can access these services online now. The other factor is it saves time and money. With systems like UPI and digital IDs, people don't have to wait in long lines or travel far to do important tasks. It makes everything faster and cheaper. Transparency. This helps make sure that the government and the other organizations are clear about how they are using resources, and this means fewer chances of cheating and corruption. I'm saying fewer because people are smarter and they find ways, but at least this is a step towards making things more secure. And also, because this helps boost the economy, this helps businesses, workers, and the economy grow by making it easier to do things online like shopping, paying bills, and running businesses. And that is why digital public infrastructure is important. Now coming to digital public goods. So what are digital public goods? So again, in simple terms, you can read whatever is on the slide. I'll share the slide for later if you want. In simple terms, a digital public good is something that helps everyone and is available for free or at a very low cost. It is like a helpful tool on the internet that everyone can use to make their lives better. For example, a free website where you can learn new things, an app that helps people send money or buy things easily, a digital map that helps people find directions, These things are called public goods because they are available to everyone and can be used by anyone, generally free of cost or at a very low cost. Um, so as we discussed why digital public infrastructure matters, coming to why digital public goods matter. Uh, First thing, they matter because they make life easier, fairer, and accessible for everyone, especially when it comes to using technology. So the first primary thing here is free and accessible. These goods are often free or low-cost tools that anyone can use. This means people, no matter where they live or how much money they have, can access useful things like education resources, like health tools, and online services. And then it promotes equality. By making important tools available to everyone, this digital public goods help reduce the gap between the economical backgrounds and the economical divide that we have in the society. Everyone from students in school to worker in the remote areas can use these tools to improve their lives. And the third factor why it matters is empowerment. The digital public goods allow people to learn new things, to start a business, to communicate in the ways they could not do before. It gives them the control over their lives and the opportunities they can pursue. Um, Also, it supports innovation. When something is shared as a public good, it encourages others to build on it. Wikipedia is one of the best examples here. For example, in addition to this, if a digital platform is made available to all, other people might create new apps or tools using it, leading to even more innovation. Um, and also the global benefit. Digital public goods are not just good for one country or one group or one community. They are available to people around the world. This helps solve global challenges like improving education, healthcare on a larger scale. Um, what qualifies as a digital public good? There are three key items that we have mentioned here. If they use an open license, if you're all Wikimedians, you know we have talked about it at multiple platforms in multiple spaces, what an open license is. An open license actually allows someone to use your product with the given specifications of how you can use it. There are different categories of it. We can talk about it some other day if that is required. But yeah, uh, something that works with open license. And then something that promotes privacy, security, and interoperability, and also supports sustainable development and global accessibility. So Wikipedia as a digital public good. So Wikipedia has recently been recognized as a digital public good due to its open, freely accessible, and community-driven nature. This recognition aligns with the global efforts to promote knowledge equity and digital access. Um, but why is Wikipedia a DPG? I'll ask you all this question. We have talked about what digital public goods are. And based on that, why do you think Wikipedia is a digital public good? Anyone?
So, okay, I'll tell why Wikipedia is a DPG. It's because Wikipedia is open and people can use it without getting, into asking others, why should I do it? Like, so given its open nature and that everyone could contribute to it and build upon it, Wikipedia is a DPG, and for its uh, vision of democratizing knowledge and sharing in the global knowledge.
Thank you. Thank you, Afi. That's actually why Wikipedia is a DPG. As you mentioned, it is free open source encyclopedia that is available in many languages. It is empowered by a global community of volunteers. It helps to advance access to free and trusted knowledge. And also the other factor is It helps to accelerate the attainment of sustainable development goals that UN has. So we all follow that. Wikimedia strategy follows the SDGs as well. So because we are aligned with this entirety around DPGs, that is why it's a perfect fit, and Wikipedia's recognition aligns with that. And then what does it mean for Wikipedia volunteers? So it means that we have increased visibility and increased responsibility. Um, this means that Wikipedia is now acknowledged as an essential digital knowledge source. Governments, policymakers, and institutions may integrate Wikipedia more actively into education and civic initiatives. Um, so the other factor is that is greater advocacy for open knowledge. Wikipedia's role in shaping global digital literacy is now formally recognized. So volunteers' work in content creation, verification, and maintaining neutrality has a broader impact now. And also, the third factor is potential funding and support. So there are more opportunities for partnerships with global organizations aiming to support digital public goods. There is possibility of increased support for Wikimedia projects in underrepresented regions as well. So it is a multi-stakeholder initiative. So if you ask me what is a Digital Public Goods Alliance, who have recently officially recognized us. The Digital Public Goods Alliance is a multi-stakeholder initiative that maintains a registry of open source software data, AI models, standards, and content. It is endorsed by United Nations Secretary General. So this recognition is something that we should all celebrate. Coming to the next question, um, we have been recognized. We have discussed why we have been recognized. We have discussed why it matters to be recognized. So why should Wikipedia communities care? What is in it for us to be more conscious of? What is in it for us to take up and work on? What it means for us in terms of how we are setting our collaborations or setting our partnerships with the allied organization. So basically, a DPG, Wikipedia's role in shaping knowledge equity has become even more critical now. However, it also means a greater responsibility to address biases, gaps, and accessibility challenges. Because we are a digital public good, that means we are open to everyone, we are accessible to everyone. This is something which is not changing the reality of Wikipedia, but at least it is bringing more visibility to the fact that we are being used as a source of information by different communities across the world, by people who speak different languages and who come from different backgrounds. And that's why, because it is acting as a source of truth, as a source of information to all those people, it becomes even more so important that we actually work on the three key elements now. The elements are systemic biases that we have in our content, which are well recognized. All have initiatives working to address that, but probably we need to work on that more actively now. These biases that we have in terms of content are known biases, particularly in terms of gender, geography, and language. Um, and then bridging the content gaps. We have been talking about content gaps in terms of representation of women on Wikipedia, but there are many other gaps that we have as well, especially for topics from underrepresented regions like Global South. And volunteers should actively work on improving content in local languages and covering diverse perspectives. And the last one is inclusive participation. Though this is the key value that we hold, we try to keep Wikipedia projects inclusive. It is a model for collaborative, community-driven knowledge production, but we should also make sure that editing, moderation, and governance practices that we have within this ecosystem are more inclusive. So what are the actionable steps for Wikimedia volunteers? I'm not sure how much time we have because we lost a lot of time fixing the technical issues. But if we can do a quick exercise of 10 minutes to see how, as DCW volunteers for your project, for your theme, for the work that you do on Wikipedia projects, what are the key priorities that you will have while you will design your content initiatives, making sure that whatsoever you work on has some of the priorities which emphasize the fact that you are a digital public good. And for that matter, whatsoever information you are putting there, whatsoever priorities you are identifying are aligned with how people are consuming this information on your project. So if you want to do this exercise, we can do. I'm not sure. Afi, if you can take 10 minutes.
Yeah, we'll take the 10 minutes. Yes, thank you.
Okay, so we'll go into a silent space. You all can discuss within the room
Okay.
what it means and what it means for DCW, and what do you want to prioritize given this recognition, and then we can close after 10 minutes. So I'll wait here in this room, and over to you. Thanks.
Thank you. Yes, Manav, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, fine. We came up with a few things, starting with Sana. WikiClick's AMU is something. Why don't you come? Why don't you come? Yes, please, Sana. Please speak. Uh,
You can speak it over here. No, that's not a big issue. Okay, Mano, so we had a discussion with each other and we did kind of a brainstorming to identify your priorities. So we have basically come up with a few ideas that we could do at DCW. One is at current, given the theme and the vision of DCW, although we have a lot of student communities all over the India, but our reach is limited to certain areas like Aligarh Muslim University or the Jamia in Delhi, a few areas in Kashmir. And we just came up to know that although we have sustainable communities in other states, but we do not have reach. So I would consider awareness in other major areas as a next priority for DCW, so that we could reach out to those areas and have more people in and contribute to the global knowledge. Additionally, from my own perspective of doing and starting this event, I believe this adds to the sustainability of our ecosystem and contributes to it being in the digital public goods for us, longer period and duration. So our priority is to continue doing events like this, train and mentor more people, help them identify the uh, the ecosystem, its needs, and how we could contribute to the larger global sum of human knowledge. These were some of the ideas that we had here. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Great discussion. Again, the key things why we should think about this recognition in a different light is because it has enhanced our representation. We should focus on, again, as Afi mentioned, improved accessibility and advocate for open knowledge now. We should engage with policymakers and educators to integrate Wikipedia into learning environments and promote Wikipedia as a reliable, community-driven information source. And also the way we can keep it accessible, easy, is to ensure that the content is simple, accurate, and verifiable. And again, as your focus is already work on specific themes, work on a specific language where information is needed, where there is appetite for knowledge. So in conclusion, Wikipedia's recognition as digital public good underscores its significance in the digital knowledge ecosystem. However, it also places a responsibility on volunteers to address the systematic biases, to enhance representation, and actively contribute to making Wikipedia a more inclusive and more accessible space. By consciously managing biases and improving content diversity, we as volunteers can ensure that the platform truly serves as a global digital public good. With that, I will close this session, but I have a question in the chat, which is that if something is open source, such as the digital public goods, does it not become vulnerable to some users copying the work of others and then commercializing it? Yes. So basically, that is why we talked about licensing in the previous slide. Whenever we agree to share our work in the open source system, that means we are sharing it for others to build on, we are sharing it for others to use, consume, and that's why we are somehow letting our ownership of that work go. For example, on Wikipedia, we are the authors of what we contribute on Wikipedia projects, but we do not claim our ownership over the entirety of Wikipedia content that we have. And because we are releasing it in the open source. So if there's someone else who tries to build commercialized content using the information which is available here, they can do that because of the license under which that information has been released. But if you want, for example, for projects like Commons, where there are amazing pictures that you have contributed and you want recognition for the work that you have done, there are different kind of licenses that we have that you can practice, where the person who's going to use it needs to give due credit to the person who has shared it or who is the owner and who has released that in the open platform. We can talk about how all these different licenses work in a different space. But we as Wikipedia contributors, when we contribute to the project, we do not own anything. No one can claim the content to be theirs on Wikipedia projects, and that's why it's open for using, for enhancing, for expansion by anyone across the globe. Thank you.